what's up? It's Selena. I'm going to be talking about 365 days today, but before I do, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my other videos. I did a video about social distancing and mental illness, how Pornhub is one of the greatest lifestyle brands, Liam Payne's horrible album, and how Drake is a creep, so make sure you check those out. Also, follow me on my social media, link in the description. Here we go. So we first meet Massimo. Okay, and oh, let me tell you, Massimo is fine as hell. Like, actually fine as hell. Anyway, he's a gangster. Whew. And the movie opens up with his dad doing gangster stuff while Massimo literally is just standing there with binoculars looking at some girl. The fact that he's not even using his actual like natural eyesight to look at this girl, no, he has binoculars. And I'm not a gangster. I have no gang affiliation. So I don't know if that's what you bring to a gangster meeting, but like, why would he have binoculars on him? See, it's a minute into this damn movie and it don't even make sense. So that's how you know it's gonna be done. Anyway, Massimo's dad gets shot and dies. So since his dad was like the leader of the gangs or whatever, there's this scene where they're trying to decide who gets the money or Massimo wants them. I honestly don't know what's happening in this scene because I'm too distracted by this guy's voice.
This conversation is over. This is America. What is it?
He sounds like when SpongeBob was trying to be normal.
Hi, how are you? Thank you. Tell me, what are you doing cooped up in here when the weather outside is so normal?
And it's, I don't know why he talks like that. There's so many accents and dialects. There's so many different accents in America. And that is not one of them. He sounds like a robot. He sounds fake. He doesn't sound real. I hate his voice. And then it's time for Massimo to go back to Italy because he's Italian. So he takes a plane because how else are you going to get to Italy? So he takes a plane and it's like a private plane, private jet, whatever. And the flight attendant, he decides to fuck the flight attendant. But not even in like the bathroom or anything, which I think is still gross because that's mad unsanitary to be fucking in an airplane bathroom. But like all he does is just move this curtain and then she sucks his dick. And just in the middle of the plane. There's not a lot of people in this plane. There's like, but I'm assuming the people on this plane are like his uncles and cousins. So I don't understand what moving a curtain is gonna do because they can still hear their moaning and groaning and they can hear all of that. And they're pretty, I thought it was very gross, like, honestly. Like, you're just fucking in the middle of a plane, and the only thing that's keeping you from your family members is a curtain. They're literally, like, in the next row. That's actually really nasty. That's nasty. Then we meet this girl who turns 29.
Tanti auguri a te.
Mans came out of nowhere, then just disappeared.
Are you lost, baby girl?
When I first saw this, I was like, what the hell what's the point of this scene? Whatever. We'll talk, I don't know. Girl, he's just weird. Like, Massimo's actually very weird. After rewatching this part, I just want to know where the hell did he go? Because he was walking forward and she was walking this way. So unless he ran, which we would have heard, he jumped into the bushes. Because she just turned around. Like, not even... I don't know. He's a weirdo. So then he kidnaps her, takes her to his place, and her picture is on his wall.
Beautiful.
Are you lost, baby girl?
Can you imagine you being kidnapped, and then when you get to the place, your picture is plastered on the... This man is crazy. Massimo is actually crazy. So everything ties, it's kind of like, oh, they were foreshadowing. So we find out that that girl was actually the girl at the beginning of the movie that he was looking at through the binoculars, and he fell in love with her, I guess. And then he happens to see her again. Some time passes. He happens to see her again at the airport just by like happenstance, coincidence.
In that moment, I understood that it wasn't only my imagination.
And then he tracks her down and then kidnaps her. Oh, and her name is Laura.
I won't do anything without your permission.
He says while grabbing her tit without her permission after kidnapping her without her permission after tracking her down without her permission. He seems to do a lot of things without her permission.
You have 365 days. I'll do anything so you can fall in love with me. If next year on your birthday nothing changes, I'll set you free.
Anyway, this is why I hate men. Because he really has the audacity to... Huh? Men will literally think that they're entitled to a woman just because they're a man. Do y'all not see how weird that is? Like, literally, he literally kidnaps her. It's just like, you have to fall in love with me, and I'm gonna keep you kidnapped for a year. And then you have to fall in love with me. This man is a weirdo, and the thing that pisses me off is that if he was ugly, there'd be no debate. We would all know that this man is fucking weird, but because he's very attractive, conventionally attractive, and has pretty privilege, there's gonna be people that's just like, oh, I love Massimo from 365 Days. He's amazing. I need me a man like Massimo. He's a kidnapper. And also, everyone is comparing this movie to 50 Shades of Grey. They're like, if you liked 50 Shades of Grey, you'll love 365 Days. And I just saw 50 Shades of Grey for the first time a few months ago, and I would love to make a review about it eventually. But I hated the movie. And so I was like, if I hated 50 Shades of Grey, I'm definitely gonna hate 365 Days. And I do, because this movie's stupid. But at least I will give them this. The casting was on point, because the guy who plays Massimo is a work of art. And if he was just okay, like the dude from 50 Shades of Grey, or worse looking, this movie would not make sense at all. Because, like I said, like, if you're ugly, you can't be doing this shit. Because then everybody could clearly see. We won't be clouded by the attractiveness, you know? Like, we wouldn't be clouded by the attractiveness, because we would clearly say that this is some creepy behavior. Which is why 50 Shades of Grey pissed me off, because he was, in my opinion, he was not fine enough to be doing this shit. I'm like, girl, what was her name? Anna or some shit? I don't know. I was like, Anna, do you not see that this, what's clouding you? What's clouding you? Anyway.
Are you lost, baby girl?
Can he stop? He is so creepy. Shorty don't never use soap when she in the shower. Damn. Okay, so this is the worst scene in the entire movie, and I will be including a timestamp if you want to skip so you don't have to hear me talk about it, because I will be mentioning rape.
Open the door. I want to leave. Let me out. Open the door.
She repeatedly says that she wants to leave, and he ignores her, and then he ties her up as she struggles, and now she's in this very scary situation where Massimo could do anything to her and Laura would be helpless. And that's so sick to me. And then some random girl comes in, just perfect timing. She literally just comes in and she sucks Massimo's dick in front of Laura. And then afterwards, Massimo has the nerve to say this.
I have access to absolutely every bit of your body.
This man is truly disgusting. I just find it really sick. And I don't like his character. I think he's a creep. And I think he's disgusting. And then, to make matters worse, in a different scene later on, they go out clubbing. And he gaslights and blames her for one of his friends assaulting her. Make that make sense.
You killed him.
I shot his hands. I wouldn't have to do it if you didn't dress like a whore and put on your little show.
So that's my fault that your friends tried to rape me. That's my fault.
I don't like Massimo. I don't like him. And he's supposed to be the protagonist of this movie, and I just don't like him. Anyway, they go to a ball, and Laura meets Anna for the first time. And I never mentioned Anna beforehand because it wasn't important, but that's Massimo's ex-girlfriend or ex-whatever. And she's still in love with Massimo, and she was blowing up his phone, and she hates Laura. Whatever.
Your portraits have been hanging in my house for years.
Years? So nothing in this movie like actually happens. They just do a bunch of random stuff. So at one point they're having sex again, and after they're done, he's like, I want you to move back to Poland, because she's from Poland. But I love you. And she's really digging him at this point, and she knows she's really, blah, 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 you know what I'm saying? And he knows that she's really digging her, and he says that. And then she's like, I'm like, what the fuck? Like that, he's such a shithead. Like, why would you say that? I mean, I know why, but why? So then she goes to Poland, and she's with her friend, and she's trying to get over him, and she has a blonde wig now. And then he pops up out of nowhere. And then they have sex again. And then she says this corny line. She says this corny line. I'm about to play it.
I don't need 365 days.
Because?
Because I love you.
Anywho, he then proposes to her. She says yes. And then it's revealed that they've only known each other for 2 months. 2 months? Like, from the moment of her kidnapping. No, from the moment of the are you lost, my baby girl, whatever. From the moment of that till now, which is the entire 95% of this whole movie. It's only been going on for 2 months. On top of that, Laura's pregnant. Okay. She wants to keep the baby, and she wants to raise it with Massimo. and they're engaged. Don't forget that, they're engaged. And when she's ready to tell him, she's like on the phone, driving back home. She's like, okay, I have something to tell you. She dies. And that's the end of the movie. I mean, I can only assume it was Anna's people who killed her. That's what I can assume. But I don't know, it's dumb. Final thoughts, I think this movie is dumb. I hate Massimo, but the actor who plays Massimo is... But Massimo the character, not Massimo like the actor. Well, the actor who plays him, because... But the character, he's a creep! And I'm like, why do y'all like him? Well, I know why, because he's hot. But he's literally the worst. He's a horrible guy. He's actually really bad. And this movie had no real plot, I feel like. Like, they just do stuff in this movie. Like, it's just, I don't know, they're just being Italian and Polish, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, like, comment, and subscribe.